Hey, what's up guys, it's Mike with Alpha Reptile, and today is the 4th day of Jam Pack July. If you don't know what Jam Pack July is, it is my replacement for May Madness, where I'm going to be making a video every single day for the whole month of July. If you haven't seen the past few days, make sure you go check them out. The Reptile Room Tour was a banger, but today is going to be a much harder video for me to make. As you guys may or may not know, Striker was burnt whilst I was in Belize, and this is basically going to be a video about me dealing with the burn, assessing it, and then an update with him as of a couple days ago when I filmed the outro to this video. So I hope you guys enjoy. It is a little tough to watch, even for me, so just beware of that.
Yeah, shocking, I know, right? That's what I walked into when I came back from my trip to Belize. I opened Striker's cage and I noticed that something wasn't right. And as you can tell on the currently left side of your screen, he's more or less normal. He didn't really get burned there. So I imagine that's where he was hiding under his rock, and the rest of the body was exposed to the UVB, and that's where he got burned. For those of you that are wondering, he was burned by UVB exposure. That is not to say that UVB exposure is harmful or bad for reptiles and things like crepuscular species like Striker, the leopard gecko here. That's just to say that extremely high amounts of UV is detrimental to them. As you can see, there is an open wound on his back, and the rest of his body, including his tail, is quite discolored, and he has lost a lot of weight. As you can see, he is in a different tank in this video. I moved him into a bin that I had lying around because he could not stay in that tank. I needed to get a new light. I decided to rehabilitate him in this bin. It's extremely simple. There's a hot hide right over top of the heating pad. There's a cool hide, which he had in his old enclosure, and there's just a petri dish full of water. Now that we're done looking at his setup and him in general, we can move on to talking about his treatment.
Alright you guys, so it's been about 3 or 4 days since I filmed that beginning clip when I first got home from Belize and found Striker burnt. So today I'm going to be treating him with the medicine that I got for him. It's going to be primarily just a bath. There's nothing really special about it. I'm going to be using the Shetty's product from Zilla, and this is going to be basically a aloe bath for him. It'll also rehydrate him in case he has not had much water. So if that's the case, then he'll drink this, and he will also just bathe in it. It'll help him shed easier next time when this hopeful burn is gone. Of course, we also have some water. This is 24 ounces, or about 20 ounces of lukewarm water. Of course, you don't want to burn your reptile, and you also don't want it to be bone-chilling cold when they're going for a bath. And the last product that I'm going to be using is this Vetricin Plus. So this is going to be applied directly to the open wound that you saw. There's a little bit of blood, there's some abrasion, and after the bath, this is going to be applied directly to that. Now you know what products I'm going to be using, so I'm just going to go grab Striker, accumulate all the stuff in the bath, and let him soak for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Now after I put the lid back on, what I ended up doing is covering up with a towel just to reduce any stress that he has being in a clear plastic container in the middle of nowhere, and he still has plenty of oxygen to breathe inside the container.
So Striker's been in the tub for about 15-20 minutes now. I have the Vetricin right here. I have shaken it nice and good, and now it's time to just treat him. I'm going to only be spraying his back. Most of the open tissue has actually healed, but I'll still treat it just to be safe. And there's a little bit of abrasion on his tail as well, so I'm going to spray that. And I'm going to let him walk around on here just so he can absorb it, and it's not going to get into his new tank. It's really nice to see. He has gotten a lot of his color back, which is nice, even on his head and stuff. I can definitely tell he's lost a bit of weight. Here we go. Just gonna let him walk around for another minute or so here. So he has gotten a lot of his coloration back, which is nice. Of course, he's never gonna regrow the missing toes that he had. Hopefully he doesn't lose the very tip of his tail. Just right over here is a little bit of stuck shed. I'll just let that shed off with the next shed. This is about a week in, or 5 days, 6 days since the incident originally occurred, or I noticed the incident from when I got back from Belize. You can see he is still doing okay. I don't expect anything tragic to happen, and by tragic I mean like him dying or having to be taken to the vet for some extreme condition or something like that. But he's definitely gonna take quite a few months to get back to normal, just via the sheds and to gain his weight back. But you can still see, even though this was like a relatively traumatic process for him, he's still just as calm, cool, and collected, which is something that I really love. Leopard geckos in general, and many of the other starter lizards, is for this reason. That's the week update. That's how I'm treating him. I'm gonna be doing this probably once a week, maybe twice a week, but definitely once a week. We'll continue on our way. Alright guys, so it's been about 2.5, 3 weeks since I last filmed that clip of bathing him in the sheddies and then putting on the Vetricin, and he's had a shed, and as you can tell, he's pretty much back to normal. There is still a little bit of discoloration, and his spotting is a little bit strange right in the center of his back there. But other than that, he is pretty much back to normal. So that is incredible, and I'm super happy that he actually made a full recovery. His tail still has maybe 1 more or 2 more sheds before it's pretty much normal. But I think the next video that you guys will see will actually be me adding him back into his bioactive setup, because honestly this tub is just something that I feel uncomfortable with. He's always been in a cage his whole life, and this tub just makes me feel terrible. I can only imagine how it makes him feel. So you know what, I guess that'll be tomorrow's video, is having Mr. Striker go back into his old digs. If you guys liked the video, make sure you leave a like down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, please leave them in the comment section, and I answer all your questions. Remember that I post every single day in July, so make sure you click that subscribe button and play Ding Dong Dish with the doorbell next to it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you tomorrow.